Madonna Business Head Office, Bo. Madonna standing in front of a microphone. Madonna performing on her Rebel Heart Tour in 2015. Born Madonna Louise Ciccone. August 16, 1958, age 63. Bay City, Michigan, U.S. Occupation: singer-songwriter, actress, dancer, producer, director, author, businesswoman. Years active 1979 present. Spouses: Sean Penn, M. 1985, Division 1989. Guy Ritchie, M. 2000, Division 2008. Partners: Carlos Leon, 1995 to 1997. Children: 6. Awards full list. Musical career. Origin: New York City, U.S. Genres: pop, electronica, dance. Instruments: vocal, sky. Labels: Sire, Warner Brothers. Maverick, Interscope. Associated Acts, Breakfast Club. Website: madonna.com. Madonna Louise Ciccone, /Ciccone/ Italian, Ciccone, born August 16, 1958, is an American singer-songwriter and actress. She is one of the most influential figures in popular culture and has often been referred to as the Queen of Pop. 3. Madonna is noted for her continual reinvention and versatility in music production, songwriting, and visual presentation. She is also known for pushing the boundaries of artistic expression in mainstream music, while maintaining control over every aspect of her career. Her works, which incorporate social, political, sexual, and religious themes, have generated both controversy and critical acclaim. Madonna moved to New York City in 1978 to pursue a career in modern dance. After performing as a drummer, guitarist, and vocalist in the rock bands Breakfast Club and Emmy, she rose to solo stardom with her debut studio album, Madonna, 1983. She followed it with a series of successful albums, including all-time bestsellers like A Virgin, 1984, True Blue, 1986, and The Immaculate Collection, 1990, as well as Grammy Award winners Ray of Light, 1998, and Confessions on a Dance Floor, 2005. Madonna has amassed many #1 singles throughout her career, including Like a Virgin, La Isla Bonita, Like a Prayer, Vogue, Take a Bow, Frozen, Music, Hung Up, and 4 Minutes. Madonna's popularity was enhanced by roles in films such as Desperately Seeking Susan, 1985, Dick Tracy, 1990, A League of Their Own, 1992, and Evita, 1996. While Evita won her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, many of her other films received poor reviews. As a businesswoman, Madonna founded the company Maverick in 1992. It included Maverick Records, one of the most successful artist-run labels in history. Her other ventures include fashion brands, children's books, health clubs, and filmmaking. She contributes to various charities, having founded the Ray of Light Foundation in 1998 and Raising Malawi in 2006. With sales of over 300 million records worldwide, Madonna is noted as the best-selling female music artist of all time by Guinness World Records. She is the most successful solo artist in the history of the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart and holds the record for the most #1 singles by a female artist in Australia, Canada, Italy, Spain, and the United Kingdom. With a revenue of over US $1.5 billion from her concert tickets, she remains the highest-grossing solo touring artist of all time. Madonna was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2008, her first year of eligibility. She was ranked as the greatest woman in music by VH1, and as the greatest music video artist of all time by MTV and Billboard. Rolling Stone also listed Madonna among the 100 greatest artists of all time and the 100 greatest songwriters of all time. Contents: 1 Life and Career. 1.1 1958 to 1978, Early Life. 1.2 1979 to 1985, Career beginnings, Madonna, Like a Virgin, and First Marriage. 1.3 1986 to 1991, True Blue, Who's That Girl, Like a Prayer, and Dick Tracy. 1.4 1992 to 1997, Maverick, Erotica, Sex, Bedtime Stories, Evita, and Motherhood. 1.5 1998 to 2002, Ray of Light, Music, Second Marriage, and Touring Comeback. 1.6 2003 to 2006, American Life and Confessions on a Dance Floor. 1.7 2007 to 2011, Filmmaking, Hard Candy, and Business Ventures. 1.8 2012 to 2017, Super Bowl XLVI Halftime Show, MDNA, and Rebel Heart. 1.9 2018 present, Madam X, Catalog Reissues, and Autobiographical Film. 2 Artistry. 2.1 Influences. 2.2 Musical Style and Composition. 2.3 Voice and Instruments. 2.4 Music Videos and Performances. 3 Legacy. 4 Awards and Achievements. 5 Discography. 6 Filmography. 7 Tours. 8 Enterprises. 9 See also. 10 References. 10.1 Book sources. 11 External links. Life and career. 1958 to 1978, early life. Madonna Louise Ciccone IV, was born on August 16, 1958, in Bay City, Michigan, to Catholic parents Madonna Louise, née Fortin, and Silvio Anthony Tony Ciccone. 5-6, her father's parents were Italian immigrants from Pacentro while her mother was of French-Canadian descent. 7, Tony Ciccone worked as an engineer designer for Chrysler and General Motors. Since Madonna had the same name as her mother, family members called her Little Nonni. 8, she later adopted Veronica as a confirmation name when she was confirmed in the Catholic Church in 1966. 9, Madonna was raised in the Detroit suburbs of Pontiac and Avon Township, now Rochester Hills, alongside her 2 older brothers, Anthony and Martin, and 3 younger siblings, Paula, Christopher, and Melanie. 10 months before her mother died of breast cancer on December 1, 1963, Madonna noticed changes in her behavior and personality, although she did not understand the reason. 5, her mother was at a loss to explain her medical condition and often began to cry when Madonna questioned her about it. Madonna later acknowledged that she had not grasped the concept of her mother dying. 11, Madonna turned to her paternal grandmother for solace. The Ciccone siblings resented housekeepers and rebelled against anyone brought into their home who they thought would try to take the place of their beloved mother. Terrified that her father Tony could be taken from her as well, Madonna was often unable to sleep unless she was near him. 5, in 1966, Tony married the family's housekeeper Joan Gustafson. They had 2 children, Jennifer and Mario. 10, Madonna resented her father for getting remarried and began rebelling against him, which strained their relationship for many years afterward. 5. Madonna attended St. Frederick's and St. Andrew's Catholic Elementary Schools, and West Middle School. Madonna was known for her high grade point average and achieved notoriety for her unconventional behavior. She would perform cartwheels and handstands in the hallways between classes, dangle by her knees from the monkey bars during recess, and pull up her skirt during class, also that the boys could see her underwear. 12. Madonna later told Vanity Fair that she saw herself in her youth as a lonely girl who was searching for something. I wasn't rebellious in a certain way. I cared about being good at something. I didn't shave my underarms and I didn't wear makeup like normal girls do. But I studied and I got good grades. I wanted to be somebody. 5. Madonna's father put her in classical piano lessons, but she later convinced him to allow her to take ballet lessons. 13. Christopher Flynn, her ballet teacher, persuaded her to pursue a career in dance. 14. She later attended Rochester Adams High School, where she became a straight-A student and a member of the cheerleading squad. 15-16, after graduating, she received a dance scholarship to the University of Michigan and studied over the summer at the American Dance Festival in Durham, North Carolina. 17-18. In 1978, Madonna dropped out of college and relocated to New York City. 19. She said of her move to New York, "It was the first time I'd ever taken a plane, the first time I'd ever gotten a taxi cab. I came here with $35 in my pocket. It was the bravest thing I'd ever done." 20. She soon found an apartment in the Alphabet City neighborhood of the East Village. 21. She had little money while working at Dunkin' Donuts and with modern dance troupes, taking classes at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater and eventually performing with Pearl Lang Dance Theater. 22-18-23, she also studied dance under the tutelage of Martha Graham, the noted American dancer and choreographer. 24. Madonna started to work as a backup dancer for other established artists. One night, while returning from the rehearsal, a pair of men held her at knife point and forced her to perform fellatio. She later found the incident to be a taste of my weakness. "It showed me that I still could not save myself in spite of all the strong girl show. I could never forget it." 25. 1979-1985, career beginnings, Madonna, Like a Virgin, and first marriage. In 1979, Madonna became romantically involved with musician Dan Gilroy. 26. Shortly after meeting him, she successfully auditioned to perform in Paris with French disco artist Patrick Hernandez as his backup singer and dancer. 22. During her 3 months with Hernandez's troupe, she also traveled to Tunisia before returning to New York in August 1979. 26. Madonna moved into an abandoned synagogue where Gilroy lived and rehearsed in Corona, Queens. 22-12, together they formed her first band, The Breakfast Club, for which Madonna sang and played drums and guitar. 27. While with the band, Madonna briefly worked as a coat check girl at the Russian Tea Room, and she made her acting debut in the low-budget indie film A Certain Sacrifice, which wasn't released until 1985. 28-29, in 1980, Madonna left The Breakfast Club with drummer Stephen Ray, who was her boyfriend in Michigan, and they formed the band Emmy and the Emmys. 30, they rekindled their romance and moved into the Music Building in Manhattan. 22, the two began writing songs together and they recorded a 4-song demo tape in November 1980, but soon after, Madonna decided to promote herself as a solo artist. 31-22. In March 1981, Camille Barbone, who ran Gotham Records in the Music Building, signed Madonna to a contract with Gotham and worked as her manager until February 1982. 32-33-34, Madonna frequented nightclubs to get disc jockeys to play her demo. 35, DJ Mark Kamins at Danceteria took an interest in her music and they began dating. 36, Kamins arranged a meeting with Madonna and Seymour Stein, the president of Sire Records, a subsidiary of Warner Brothers Records. 35, Madonna signed a deal for a total of 3 singles, with an option for an album. 37, Kamins produced her debut single, Everybody, which was released in October 1982. 35, in December 1982, Madonna performed the song Live for the first time at Danceteria. 38-39, she made her first television appearance performing Everybody on Dancin' on Air in January 1983. 40, in February 1983, she promoted the single with nightclub performances in the United Kingdom. 41, her second single, Burning Up, was released in March 1983. Both singles reached number 3 on Billboard magazine's Hot Dance Club Songs chart. 42, during this period, Madonna was in a relationship with artist Jean-Michel Basquiat and living at his loft in Soho. 43-44, Basquiat introduced her to art curator Diego Cortez, who had managed some punk bands and co-founded the Mud Club. 45. Madonna invited Cortez to be her manager, but he declined. 45. Following the success of the singles, Warner Brothers hired Reggie Lucas to produce her self-titled debut album, Madonna. 46. However, Madonna was dissatisfied with the completed tracks and disagreed with Lucas' production techniques, so she decided to seek additional help. 47. She asked John "Jelly Bean" Benitez, the resident DJ at Funhouse, to help finish the album's production, and a romance ensued. 48. Benitez remixed most of the tracks and produced Holiday, which was her first international top 10 song. The album was released in July 1983, and peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 200. It yielded 2 top 10 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, Borderline and Lucky Star. 49. In the fall of 1983, Madonna's new manager, Fede DeMann, secured a meeting for her with film producer John Peters, who asked her to play the part of a club singer in the romantic drama Vision Quest. 50. In January 1984, Madonna gained more exposure by performing on American Bandstand and Top of the Pops in January 1984. 51-52, her image, performances, and music videos influenced young girls and women. 53, Madonna's style became one of the female fashion trends of the 1980s. 54, created by stylist and jewelry designer Mara Paul, the look consisted of lace tops, skirts over capri pants, fishnet stockings, jewelry bearing the crucifix, bracelets, and bleached hair. 55, 56, 57, Madonna's popularity continued to rise globally with the release of her second studio album, Like a Virgin, in November 1984. It became her first #1 album in Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Spain, the UK, and the US. 58-59, Like a Virgin became the first album by a female to sell over 5 million copies in the US. 60, it was later certified Diamond in by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, and has sold over 21 million copies worldwide. 61. Madonna performing at the 1985 Live Aid charity concert. The album's title track served as its first single, and topped the Hot 100 chart for 6 consecutive weeks. 62. It attracted the attention of conservative organizations who complained that the song and its accompanying video promoted premarital sex and undermined family values. 63. And moralists sought to have the song and video banned. 64. Madonna received huge media coverage for her performance of Like a Virgin at the first 1984 MTV Video Music Awards. Wearing a wedding dress and white gloves, Madonna appeared on stage atop a giant wedding cake and then rolled around suggestively on the floor. MTV retrospectively considered it one of the most iconic pop performances of all time. 65. The second single, Material Girl, reached number 2 on the Hot 100. 49. While filming the single's music video, Madonna started dating actor Sean Pennsylvania. They married on her birthday in 1985. 66. Madonna entered mainstream films in February 1985, beginning with her cameo in Vision Quest. The soundtrack contained 2 new singles, her US #1 single, Crazy for You, and another track, Gambler. 49. She also played the title role in the 1985 comedy Desperately Seeking Susan, a film which introduced the song Into the Groove, her first #1 single in the UK. 67. Her popularity caused the film to be perceived as a Madonna vehicle, despite how she was not billed as a lead actress. 68. The New York Times film critic Vincent Canby named it one of the 10 best films of 1985. 69. Beginning in April 1985, Madonna embarked on her first concert tour in North America, the Virgin Tour, with the Beastie Boys as her opening act. The tour saw the peak of Madonna wannabe phenomenon, with many female attendees dressing like her. 70. At that time, she released 2 more hits, Angel and Dress You Up, making all 4 singles from the album peak inside the top 5 on the Hot 100 chart. 71. In July, Penthouse and Playboy magazines published a number of nude photos of Madonna, taken when she moonlighted as an art model in 1978. 72. She had posed for the photographs because she needed money at the time, and was paid as little as $25 a session. 73. The publication of the photos caused a media uproar, but Madonna remained unapologetic and defiant. 74. The photographs were ultimately sold for up to $100,000. 73. She referred to these events at the 1985 outdoor Live Aid charity concert, saying that she would not take her jacket off because, the media, might hold it against me 10 years from now. 74-75. 1986 to 1991, True Blue, Who's That Girl, Like a Prayer, and Dick Tracy. In June 1986, Madonna released her third studio album, True Blue, which was inspired by and dedicated to her husband. Pennsylvania 76, Rolling Stone was impressed with the effort, writing that the album sounds as if it comes from the heart. 77, 5 singles were released, Live to Tell, Papa Don't Preach, True Blue, Open Your Heart, and La Isla Bonita, all of which reached number 1 in the US or the UK. 49-78, the album topped the charts in 28 countries worldwide, an unprecedented achievement at the time, and remains Madonna's best-selling studio album, with sales of 25 million copies. 79-80, True Blue was featured in the 1992 edition of Guinness World Records as the best-selling album by a woman of all time. 81. Madonna starred in the critically panned film Shanghai Surprise in 1986, for which she received her first Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress. 82. She made her theatrical debut in a production of David Rabe's Goose and Tom Tom. The film and play both co-starred. Pennsylvania 83. The next year, Madonna was featured in the film Who's That Girl? She contributed 4 songs to its soundtrack, including the title track and Causing a Commotion. 84. Madonna embarked on the Who's That Girl World Tour in June 1987, which continued until September. 85-86. It broke several attendance records, including over 130,000 people in a show near Paris, which was then a record for the highest attended female concert of all time. 87. Later that year, she released a remix album of past hits, You Can Dance, which reached number 14 on the Billboard 200. 58-88. After initially filing for an annulment in December 1987, Madonna filed for divorce from Penn in January 1989, citing irreconcilable differences. 66. In January 1989, Madonna signed an endorsement deal with soft drink manufacturer Pepsi. In one Pepsi commercial, she debuted Like a Prayer, the lead single and title track from her 4th studio album. The music video featured Catholic symbols such as stigmata and cross burning, and a dream of making love to a saint, leading the Vatican to condemn the video. Religious groups sought to ban the commercial and boycott Pepsi products. Pepsi revoked the commercial and cancelled her sponsorship contract. 89-90, Like a Prayer topped the charts in many countries, becoming her 7th number 1 on the Hot 100. 84-49. Madonna co-wrote and co-produced Like a Prayer with Patrick Leonard, Stephen Ray, and Prince. 91. Music critic J.D. Considine from Rolling Stone praised it as close to art as pop music gets, proof not only that Madonna should be taken seriously as an artist but that hers is one of the most compelling voices of the 80s. 92. Like a Prayer peaked at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and sold 15 million copies worldwide. 58-93. Other successful singles from the album were Express Yourself and Cherish, both peaked at number 2 in the US, as well as the UK Top 5 Dear Jassie and the US Top 10 Keep It Together. 84-49. By the end of the 1980s, Madonna was named as the Artist of the Decade by MTV, Billboard and Musician magazine. 94-95-96. Madonna starred as Breathless Mahoney in the film Dick Tracy, 1990, with Warren Beatty playing the title role. 97. The film went to number 1 on the U.S. box office for 2 weeks and Madonna received a Saturn Award nomination for Best Actress. 98. To accompany the film, she released the soundtrack album, I'm Breathless, which included songs inspired by the film's 1930s setting. It also featured the U.S. #1 song Vogue and Sooner or Later. 99. 100. While shooting the film, Madonna began a relationship with Beatty, which dissolved shortly after the premiere. 101. 102. In April 1990, Madonna began her Blonde Ambition World Tour, which was held until August. 103. Rolling Stone called it an elaborately choreographed, sexually provocative extravaganza and proclaimed it the best tour of 1990. 104. The tour generated strong negative reaction from religious groups for her performance of Like a Virgin, during which 2 male dancers caressed her body before she simulated masturbation. 85. In response, Madonna said, "The tour in no way hurts anybody's sentiments. It's for open minds and gets them to see sexuality in a different way. Their own and others." 105. The live recording of the tour won Madonna her first Grammy Award, in the category of Best Long-Form Music Video. 106. The Immaculate Collection, Madonna's first greatest hits compilation album, was released in November 1990. It included 2 new songs, Justify My Love and Rescue Me. 107. The album was certified diamond by RIAA and sold over 31 million copies worldwide, becoming the best-selling compilation album by a solo artist in history. 108. 109. Justify My Love reached number 1 in the US, becoming her 9th number 1. 49. Her then-boyfriend model Tony Ward co-starred in the music video, which featured scenes of sadomasochism, bondage, same-sex kissing, and brief nudity. 110. 111. The video was deemed too sexually explicit for MTV and was banned from the network. 112. Her first documentary film, Truth or Dare, known as In Bed with Madonna outside North America, was released in May 1991. 113. Chronicling her Blonde Ambition World Tour, it became the highest-grossing documentary of all time, surpassed 11 years later by Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine. 114. 1992 to 1997, Maverick, Erotica, Sex, Bedtime Stories, Evita, and Motherhood. A woman with short blonde hair, wearing a green bra and purple pants, singing to a microphone, held in her left hand. Madonna performing during The Girly Show in September 1993. In 1992, Madonna starred in A League of Their Own as Mamor Dabito, a baseball player on an all-women's team. It reached number 1 on the box office and became the 10th highest-grossing film of the year in the US. 115. She recorded the film's theme song, This Used to Be My Playground, which became her 10th Hot 100 number 1 hit, the most by any female artist at the time. 49. The same year, Madonna sponsored the first retrospective for her former boyfriend Jean-Michel Basquiat at the Whitney Museum of American Art. 116. 117. She also founded her own entertainment company, Maverick, consisting of a record company, Maverick Records, a film production company, Maverick Films, and associated music publishing, television broadcasting, book publishing and merchandising divisions. The deal was a joint venture with Time Warner and paid Madonna an advance of $60 million. It gave her 20% royalties from the music proceedings, the highest rate in the industry at the time, equaled only by Michael Jackson's royalty rate established a year earlier with Sony. 118. Her company later went on to become one of the most successful artist-run labels in history, producing multi-platinum artists such as Alanis Morissette and Michelle Branch. 119. 120. Upon achieving total artistic control with Maverick, 118, Madonna released simultaneously her fifth studio album, Erotica, and her coffee table book, Sex. Consisting of sexually provocative and explicit images, photographed by Stephen Meisel, the book received strong negative reaction from the media and the general public, but sold 1.5 million copies at $50 each in a matter of days. 122. The widespread backlash overshadowed Erotica, which ended up as her lowest-selling album at the time. 122. Despite positive reviews, it became her first studio album since her debut album not to score any chart topper in the US. The album entered the Billboard 200 at number 2 and yielded the Hot 100 top 10 hits Erotica and Deeper and Deeper. 58-49. Madonna continued her provocative imagery in the 1993 erotic thriller, Body of Evidence, a film which contained scenes of sadomasochism and bondage. It was poorly received by critics. 123-124, she also starred in the film Dangerous Game, which was released straight to video in North America. The New York Times described the film as angry and painful, and the pain feels real. 125. In September 1993, Madonna embarked on The Girly Show, in which she dressed as a whip-cracking dominatrix surrounded by topless dancers. In Puerto Rico, she rubbed the island's flag between her legs on stage, resulting in outrage among the audience. 85. In March 1994, she appeared as a guest on The Late Show with David Letterman, using profanity that required censorship on television, and handing Letterman a pair of her panties and asking him to smell it. 126. The releases of her sexually explicit book, album and film, and the aggressive appearance on Letterman all made critics question Madonna as a sexual renegade. Critics and fans reacted negatively, who commented that she had gone too far and that her career was over. 127. Around this time, Madonna briefly dated basketball player Dennis Rodman and rapper Tupac Shakur. 128, 129, 130. Biographer J. Randy Terribrilli described her ballad I'll Remember, 1994, as an attempt to tone down her provocative image. The song was recorded for Alec Kishishian's 1994 film With Honors. 131. She made a subdued appearance with Letterman at an awards show and appeared on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno after realizing that she needed to change her musical direction in order to sustain her popularity. 132. With her sixth studio album, Bedtime Stories, 1994, Madonna employed a softer image to try to improve the public perception. 132. The album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and generated 2 U.S. top 5 hits, Secret and Take a Bow, the latter topping the Hot 100 for 7 weeks, the longest period of any Madonna single. 133, Something to Remember, a collection of ballads, was released in November 1995. The album featured 3 new songs, You'll See, One More Chance, and a cover of Marvin Gaye's I Want You. 49-134. This is the role I was born to play. I put everything of me into this because it was much more than a role in a movie. It was exhilarating and intimidating at the same time. And I am prouder of Evita than anything else I have done. Madonna talking about her role in Evita. 135. In the 1996 musical, Evita, Madonna played the title role of Eva Peron. 136-137. For a long time, Madonna had desired to play Peron and wrote to director Alan Parker to explain why she would be perfect for the part. After securing the role, she received vocal coaching and learned about the history of Argentina and Peron. During filming, Madonna became ill several times, after finding out that she was pregnant, and from the intense emotional effort required with the scenes. 138. Upon Evita's release in December 1996, Madonna's performance received praise from film critics. 139. Zach Connor of Time magazine remarked, "It's a relief to say that Evita is pretty damn fine, well cast and handsomely visualized. Madonna once again confounds our expectations. 140. For the role, she won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in Motion Picture Musical or Comedy. 141. The Evita soundtrack, containing songs mostly performed by Madonna, was released as a double album. 142. It included You Must Love Me and Don't Cry for Me Argentina, the latter reached #1 in countries across Europe. 143. Madonna was presented with the Artist Achievement Award by Tony Bennett at the 1996 Billboard Music Awards. 144. On October 14, 1996, she gave birth to Lord Lola Maria Ciccone Leon, her daughter with fitness trainer Carlos Leon. 145-146, biographer Mary Cross writes that although Madonna often worried that her pregnancy would harm Evita, she reached some important personal goals. Now 38 years old, Madonna had at last triumphed on screen and achieved her dream of having a child, both in the same year. She had reached another turning point in her career, reinventing herself and her image with the public. 147. Her relationship with Carlos Leon ended in May 1997 and she declared that they were better off as best friends. 148-149. 1998 to 2002, Ray of Light, Music, Second Marriage, and Touring Comeback. After Lourdes' birth, Madonna became involved in Eastern mysticism and Kabbalah, introduced to her by actress Sandra Bernhard. 150. Her seventh studio album, Ray of Light, 1998, reflected this change in her perception and image. 151-152, she collaborated with electronica producer William Orbit and wanted to create a sound that could blend dance music with pop and British rock. 153, American music critic Ann Powers explained that what Madonna searched for with Orbit was a kind of lushness that she wanted for this record. Techno and rave were happening in the 90s and had a lot of different forms. There was very experimental, more hard stuff like Aphex Twin. There was party stuff like Fatboy Slim. That's not what Madonna wanted for this. She wanted something more like a singer-songwriter, really. And William Orbit provided her with that. 153. A blonde woman sitting on a block of hay. She is playing a guitar and singing in front of a standing microphone. She has short hair and wears gray-colored cowboy clothes. Madonna performing during one of the dates of the Drowned World Tour in September 2001. The album garnered critical acclaim, with Slant magazine calling it one of the great pop masterpieces of the 90s. 154, Ray of Light was honored with 4 Grammy Awards, including Best Pop Album and Best Dance Recording, and was nominated for both Album of the Year and Record of the Year. 155, Rolling Stone listed it among the 500 greatest albums of all time. 156, commercially, the album peaked at #1 in numerous countries and sold more than 16 million copies worldwide. 157, the album's lead single, Frozen, became Madonna's first single to debut at #1 in the UK, while in the US it became her 6th #2 single, setting another record for Madonna as the artist with the most #2 hits. 49-158, the second single, Ray of Light, debuted at #5 on the Billboard Hot 100. 159. The 1998 edition of Guinness Book of World Records documented that no female artist has sold more records than Madonna around the world. 160. Madonna founded Ray of Light Foundation, which focused on women, education, global development and humanitarian. 161, she recorded the single Beautiful Stranger for the 1999 film Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, which earned her a Grammy Award for Best Song Written for a Motion Picture, Television or Other Visual Media. 106, Madonna starred in the 2000 comedy drama film The Next Best Thing, directed by John Schlesinger. The film opened at #2 on the U.S. box office with $5.9 million grossed in its first week, but this quickly diminished. 162, She also contributed 2 songs to the film's soundtrack, a cover of Don McLean's 1971 song American Pie and an original song Time Stood Still. The former became her 9th UK #1 single. 163. Madonna released her 8th studio album, Music, in September 2000. It featured elements from the electronica-inspired Ray of Light era, and like its predecessor, received acclaim from critics. Collaborating with French producer Mirwais Ahmad, Madonna commented, "I love to work with the weirdos that no one knows about, the people who have raw talent and who are making music unlike anyone else out there. Music is the future of sound." 164. Stephen Thomas Erlewine from AllMusic felt that music blows by in a kaleidoscopic rush of color, technique, style and substance. It has so many depth and layers that it's easily as self-aware and earnest as Ray of Light. 165. The album took the #1 position in more than 20 countries worldwide and sold 4 million copies in the first 10 days. 155. In the US, Music debuted at the top, and became her first #1 album in 11 years since Like a Prayer. 166. It produced 3 singles, the Hot 100 #1 Music, Don't Tell Me, and What It Feels Like for a Girl. 49. The music video of What It Feels Like for a Girl depicted Madonna committing acts of crime and vandalism, and was banned by MTV and VH1. 167. She first met director Guy Ritchie, who would later become her second husband, in the summer of 1998 and gave birth to their son Rocco John Ritchie on August 11, 2000 in Los Angeles. Rocco and Madonna suffered complications from the birth due to her experiencing placenta previa. He was christened at Dornoch Cathedral in Dornoch, Scotland, on December 21, 2000. Madonna married Ritchie the following day at nearby Skibo Castle. 168-169. After an 8-year absence from touring, Madonna started her Drowned World Tour in June 2001. 85. The tour visited cities in the US and Europe and was the highest-grossing concert tour of the year by a solo artist, earning $75 million from 47 sold-out shows. 170. She also released her second greatest hits collection, GHV2, which compiled 15 singles during the second decade of her recording career. The album debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200 and sold 7 million units worldwide. 171-172. Madonna starred in the film Swept Away, directed by Ritchie. Released direct-to-video in the UK, the film was a commercial and critical failure. 173. In May 2002 she appeared in London in the West End play Up for Grabs at the Wyndham's Theatre, billed as Madonna Ritchie, to universally bad reviews and was described as the evening's biggest disappointment by one. 174-175. That October, she released Die Another Day, the title song of the James Bond film Die Another Day, in which she had a cameo role, described by Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian as incredibly wooden. 176. The song reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was nominated for both a Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song and a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Original Song. 49. 2003 to 2006, American Life and Confessions on a Dance Floor. Madonna, wearing a military uniform, holds her arm to her head. She's flanked by several dancers wearing similar clothes. Madonna performing American Life during the Reinvention World Tour, the highest-grossing tour of 2004. In 2003, Madonna collaborated with fashion photographer Stephen Klein for an exhibition installation named Ecstatic Pro equals SS, which ran from March to May in New York's Stitch Projects Gallery and also traveled the world in an edited form. 177. The same year, Madonna released her 9th studio album, American Life, which was based on her observations of American society. 178. She explained that the record was like a trip down memory lane, looking back at everything I've accomplished and all the things I once valued and all the things that were important to me. Larry Flick from The Advocate felt that American Life is an album that is among her most adventurous and lyrically intelligent, while condemning it as a lazy, half-arsed effort to sound and take her seriously. 179-180. The original music video of its title track caused controversy due to its violence and anti-war imagery, and was withdrawn after the 2003 invasion of Iraq started. Madonna voluntarily censored herself for the first time in her career due to the political climate of the country, saying that there was a lynch mob mentality that was going on that wasn't pretty and I have children to protect. 181. The song stalled at number 37 on the Hot 100. 49, while the album became her lowest-selling album at that point with 4 million copies worldwide. 182. Madonna gave another provocative performance later that year at the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards, when she kissed singers Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera while singing the track Hollywood. 183-184. In October 2003, she provided guest vocals on Spears' single Me Against the Music. 185. It was followed with the release of Remixed and Revisited. The EP contained remixed versions of songs from American Life and included Your Honesty, a previously unreleased track from the Bedtime Stories recording sessions. 186. Madonna also signed a contract with Callaway Arts and Entertainment to be the author of 5 children's books. The first of these books, titled The English Roses, was published in September 2003. The story was about 4 English schoolgirls and their envy and jealousy of each other. 187. The book debuted at the top of the New York Times bestseller list and became the fastest-selling children's picture book of all time. 188. Madonna donated all of its proceeds to a children's charity. 189. The next year Madonna and Maverick sued Warner Music Group and its former parent company Time Warner, claiming that mismanagement of resources and poor bookkeeping had cost the company millions of dollars. In return, Warner filed a countersuit alleging that Maverick had lost tens of millions of dollars on its own. 119-190. The dispute was resolved when the Maverick shares, owned by Madonna and Ronnie Dashev, were purchased by Warner. Madonna and Dashev's company became a wholly owned subsidiary of Warner Music, but Madonna was still signed to Warner under a separate recording contract. 119. In mid-2004, Madonna embarked on the Reinvention World Tour in the US, Canada, and Europe. It became the highest-grossing tour of 2004. Earning around $120 million and became the subject of her documentary I'm Going to Tell You a Secret. 191-192. In November 2004, she was inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame as one of its 5 founding members, along with the Beatles, Elvis Presley, Bob Marley, and U2. 193. Rolling Stone ranked her at number 36 on its special issue of the 100 Greatest Artists of All Time, featuring an article about her written by Britney Spears. 194. In January 2005, Madonna performed a cover version of the John Lennon song Imagine at Tsunami Aid. 195. She also performed at the Live 8 benefit concert in London in July 2005. 196. When I wrote American Life, I was very agitated by what was going on in the world around me. I was angry. I had a lot to get off my chest. I made a lot of political statements. But now, I feel that I just want to have fun, I want to dance, I want to feel buoyant. And I want to give other people the same feeling. There's a lot of madness in the world around us, and I want people to be happy. Madonna talking about confessions on a dance floor. 197. Her 10th studio album, Confessions on a Dance Floor, was released in November 2005. Musically, the album was structured like a club set composed by a DJ. It was acclaimed by critics, with Keith Caulfield from Billboard commenting that the album was a welcome return to form for the Queen of Pop. 198, the album won a Grammy Award for Best Electronic Dance Album. 106, Confessions on a Dance Floor and its lead single, Hung Up, went on to reach number 1 in 40 and 41 countries respectively, earning a place in Guinness World Records. 199, the song contained a sample of ABBA's Gimme. 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 A Man After Midnight, only the second time that ABBA has allowed their work to be used. ABBA songwriter Björn Ulvaeus remarked, "It is a wonderful track, 100% solid pop music." 200, Sorry, the second single, became Madonna's 12th number 1 single in the UK. 67. Madonna embarked on the Confessions tour in May 2006, which had a global audience of 1.2 million and grossed over $193.7 million, becoming the highest-grossing tour to that date for a female artist. 201, Madonna used religious symbols, such as the crucifix and crown of thorns, in the performance of Live to Tell. It caused the Russian Orthodox Church and the Federation of Jewish Communities of Russia to urge all their members to boycott her concert. 202, at the same time, the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry, IFPI, announced officially that Madonna had sold over 200 million copies of her albums alone worldwide. 203. While on tour, Madonna founded charitable organization Raising Malawi and partially funded an orphanage in and traveling to that country. 204, while there, she decided to adopt a boy named David Bonda in October 2006. 205, the adoption raised strong public reaction, because Malawian law requires would-be parents to reside in Malawi for 1 year before adopting, which Madonna did not do. 206, she addressed this on The Oprah Winfrey Show, saying that there were no written adoption laws in Malawi that regulated foreign adoption. Madonna described how Bonda had been suffering from pneumonia after surviving malaria and tuberculosis when they first met. 207, Bonda's biological father, Johan, commented, "These so-called human rights activists are harassing me every day, threatening me that I am not aware of what I am doing. They want me to support their court case, a thing I cannot do, for I know what I agreed with Madonna and her husband." The adoption was finalized in May 2008. 208. 209. 2007 to 2011, filmmaking, hard candy, and business ventures. Madonna released and performed the song Hey You at the London Live Earth concert in July 2007. 210, she announced her departure from Warner Bros. Records, and declared a new $120 million, 10-year $360 deal with Live Nation. 211, in 2008, Madonna produced and wrote I Am Because We Are, a documentary on the problems faced by Malawians. It was directed by Nathan Risman, who worked as Madonna's gardener. 212, she also directed her first film, Filth and Wisdom. The plot of the film revolved around 3 friends and their aspirations. The Times said she had done herself proud, while the Daily Telegraph described the film as not an entirely unpromising first effort, but Madonna would do well to hang on to her day job. 213-214, on March 10, 2008, Madonna was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in her first year of eligibility. 215, she did not sing at the ceremony but tasked fellow Hall of Fame inductees and Michigan natives the Stooges to perform her songs Burning Up and Ray of Light. 216. Madonna released her 11th studio album, Hard Candy, in April 2008. Containing R&B and urban pop influences, the songs on Hard Candy were autobiographical in nature and saw Madonna collaborating with Justin Timberlake, Timbaland, Pharrell Williams and Nate Dogg Hills. 217, the album debuted at number 1 in 37 countries and on the Billboard 200. 218-219, Karen Gans from Rolling Stone complimented it as an impressive taste of her upcoming tour. 220, while BBC correspondent Mark Savage banned it as an attempt to harness the urban market. 221. Madonna playing electric guitar in front of a microphone. Madonna performing on the 2009 leg of the Sticky and Sweet tour, which was the second highest grossing tour of all time. 4 Minutes was released as the album's lead single and peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was Madonna's 37th top 10 hit on the chart and pushed her past Elvis Presley as the artist with the most top 10 hits. 222. In the UK she retained her record for the most number 1 singles for a female artist, 4 Minutes becoming her 13th. 223. At the 23rd Japan Gold Disc Awards, Madonna received her 5th Artist of the Year trophy from Recording Industry Association of Japan, the most for any artist. 224. To further promote the album, she embarked on the Sticky and Sweet tour, her first major venture with Live Nation. With a total gross of $408 million, it ended up as the second highest grossing tour of all time, behind the Rolling Stones as a Bigger Bang tour. 225. It remained the highest grossing tour by a solo artist until Roger Waters' The Wall Live surpassed it in 2013. 226. Madonna in a black dress, smiling and looking down. Madonna at the premiere of WE at the 2011 Toronto International Film Festival. In July 2008, Christopher Ciccone released a book titled Life with My Sister Madonna, which caused a rift between Madonna and him, because of unsolicited publication. 227. By fall, Madonna filed for divorce from Richie, citing irreconcilable differences. 228. In December 2008, Madonna's spokesperson announced that Madonna had agreed to a divorce settlement with Richie, the terms of which granted him between £50 to $60 million, $63.82 to $76.58 million, a figure that included the couple's London pub and residence and Wiltshire estate in England. 229. The marriage was dissolved by District Judge Reed by decree nisi at the Clinical Principal Registry of the Family Division in High Holborn, London. They entered a compromise agreement for Rocco and David, then aged 8 and 3 respectively, and divided the children's time between Richie's London home and Madonna's in New York, where the two were joined by Lord. 230-231. Soon after, Madonna applied to adopt Chifundo Mercy James from Malawi in May 2009, but the country's High Court rejected the application because Madonna was not a resident there. 232. She reappealed, and on June 12, 2009, the Supreme Court of Malawi granted her the right to adopt Mercy. 233. Madonna concluded her contract with Warner by releasing her third greatest hits album, Celebration, in September 2009. It contained the new songs Celebration and Revolver along with 34 hits spanning her musical career with the label. 234. Celebration reached number 1 in several countries, including Canada, Germany, Italy, and the United Kingdom. 235. She appeared at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards to speak in tribute to deceased pop singer Michael Jackson. 236. Madonna ended the 2000s as the best-selling single artist of the decade in the US and the most played artist of the decade in the UK. 237-238. Billboard also announced her as the third top touring artist of the decade, behind only the Rolling Stones and U2, with a gross of over $801 million, 6.3 million attendance and 244 sellouts of 248 shows. 239. Madonna performed at the Hope for Haiti Now, a global benefit for earthquake relief concert in January 2010. 240. Her third live album, Sticky and Sweet Tour, was released in April, debuting at number 10 on the Billboard 200. 58. It also became her 20th top 10 on the Oricon Albums chart, breaking the Beatles' record for the most top 10 album by an international act in Japan. 241. Madonna granted American television show, Glee, the rights to her entire catalog of music, and the producers created an episode featuring her songs exclusively. 242, she also collaborated with Lorde and released the Material Girl clothing line, inspired by her punk girl style when she rose to fame in the 1980s. 243, in October, she opened a series of fitness centers around the world named Hard Candy Fitness. 244, and 3 months later unveiled a second fashion brand called Truth or Dare, which included footwear, perfumes, underclothing, and accessories. 245. Madonna directed her second feature film, W.E., a biographical account about the affair between King Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson. Co-written with Aile Kishishian, the film was premiered at the 68th Venice International Film Festival in September 2011. 246, critical and commercial response to the film was negative. 247-248, Madonna contributed the ballad Masterpiece for the film's soundtrack, which won her a Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song. 249. 2012 to 2017, Super Bowl XLVI Halftime Show, MDNA, and Rebel Heart. Madonna performing during the Super Bowl XLVI Halftime Show on February 5, 2012. In February 2012, Madonna headlined the Super Bowl XLVI Halftime Show at the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. 250. Her performance was visualized by Cirque du Soleil and Jamie King and featured special guests LMFAO, Nicki Minaj, MIA and CeeLo Green. It became the then most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history with 114 million viewers, higher than the game itself. 251. During the event, she performed Give Me All Your Luvine, the lead single from her 12th studio album, MDNA. It became her record-extending 38th top 10 single on the Billboard Hot 100. 252. MDNA was released in March 2012 and saw collaboration with various producers, including William Orbit and Martin Solveig. 253. It was her first release under her 3-album deal with Interscope Records, which she signed as a part of her 360 deal with Live Nation. 254. She was signed to the record label since Live Nation was unable to distribute music recordings. 255. MDNA became Madonna's 5th consecutive studio record to debut at the top of the Billboard 200. 256. The album was mostly promoted by the MDNA tour, which lasted from May to December 2012. 257. The tour featured controversial subjects such as violence, firearms, human rights, nudity and politics. With a gross of $305.2 million from 88 sold-out shows, it became the highest-grossing tour of 2012 and then 10th highest-grossing tour of all time. 258. Madonna was named the top-earning celebrity of the year by Forbes, earning an estimated $125 million. 259. Madonna collaborated with Stephen Klein and directed a 17-minute film, Secret Project Revolution, which was released on BitTorrent in September 2013. 260. With the film she launched the Art for Freedom initiative, which helped to promote art and free speech as a means to address persecution and injustice across the globe. The website for the project included over 3,000 art-related submissions since its inception, with Madonna regularly monitoring and enlisting other artists like David Blaine and Katy Perry as guest curators. 261. By 2013, Madonna's Raising Malawi had built 10 schools to educate 4,000 children in Malawi at a value of $400,000. 262. When Madonna visited the schools in April 2013, President of Malawi Joyce Banda accused her of exaggerating the charity's contribution. 263. Madonna was saddened by Banda's statement, but clarified that she had no intention of being distracted by these ridiculous allegations. It was later confirmed that Banda had not approved the statement released by her press team. 264. Madonna also visited her hometown Detroit during May 2014 and donated funds to help with the city's bankruptcy. 265. The same year, her business ventures extended to skincare products with the launch of MDNA Skin in Tokyo, Japan. 266. Madonna's 13th studio album, Rebel Heart, was released in March 2015. Th.